All right, I'm back after a 1 day hiatus. I did unfortunately break the 30-day streak of posting that I committed to. Yesterday, I just wasn't in the creative space to make a video, and I didn't want to force it. I just didn't want to force it and create something I wasn't proud of, create something that wasn't of quality and value to other people. So I decided I was better off not making a video, which some people say just do it and throw it out there and it is what it is, and some will say, you know what, you're right, if you're not in the headspace to do it, then don't. I was thinking about it a little bit today and last night, obviously, and throughout yesterday. The old me would have beat myself up about it because, like I said, I committed to it, and it's not as much about the video as it is committing to my word and being a man of my word, which I take pride in, and that's incredibly important. But I also told myself at the same time to rid myself of that perfectionism that I have. That's a very bad habit of mine, which at the same time, you could say by not making a video, I'm being a perfectionist because, had I just sat down and made whatever and threw it out there, that would have been better than not making a video at all. So you could look at it both ways, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm not in a legally binding contract to make YouTube videos and whatever it is. So I've been very, very, very focused and invested in this business. So yeah, I got a really good feeling about it. We just have to get the snowball rolling downhill with sales, get our feet wet with that, and perfect the craft of selling. Really, that's the biggest thing. And I've realized, the AI stuff is cool, but people can learn that these days, right? With the technology, it's like even if you're a beginner and you start from scratch, like my brother and I did, you can learn this stuff. But sales is a skill. And obviously people can learn sales, right? But you need to put yourself out there. You need to perfect your craft. You need to review, revise, refine. It's a long relenting road, I feel like. And that's exciting. It's obviously a challenge, but it's exciting in my opinion. So we really just got to pick up the phones and go to town, and not only pick up the phones, but generate different forms of outreach and lead generation and things like that, qualifying our leads, you know what I mean? Closing deals, of course, it's an art. There's so much that goes into it. People don't realize, but yeah, so we're learning all of that. I need to remind myself too, that we've only been at this for maybe 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, something like that. So, the progress we're making at this rate, we'll be in good shape as long as we stay consistent. That's the biggest thing, obviously, with anything in life. But yeah, I've been so focused on the back end stuff, all the documents, this and that. And I need to remind myself, you just got to get out there. You got to put yourself out there. All that stuff is secondary to finding clients and making sales. And yeah, it's important to have that legal stuff. And people, they hop on social media and they talk about starting a business. It's like, go on ChatGPT and ask it to give you a business idea, and then ask it for clients, and then ask it for, how to build the thing. And like, yeah, that's all great. It's so much more complex than that. There's legal implications, especially with AI, but with any business you run, you have to collect payment, taxes. What's your overhead? What is it that you're even selling, right? A product, service. How are you finding clients? How are you conveying value to people? So it's a lot, and I don't say that to deter anybody from the path. I was thinking about it today actually, and I highly advise everybody to start a business. Just try it. It's a ton of fun. It's incredibly challenging, but if you're resilient and you have a knack for solving problems and you enjoy doing stuff like that, it's definitely worth the journey. And we're at the beginning of it, right? So, we'll see where it goes. I'm incredibly optimistic and excited, but you learn so much. I can confidently say in the past 2 months, I've learned tenfold what I've learned at all my previous jobs combined 100%. The skill set I'm developing by doing this is way more valuable than anything I've done in the past. At least I can speak for myself. There's tons of jobs out there, I'm sure, that develop skill sets and, teach people a lot and obviously make a ton of money. But no matter what happens with this, I can confidently say I learned so much. So it's been so worth it and so fun and so rewarding. And, we haven't even made any money yet, to be honest with you. So, we'll get there. Like I said, I'm a firm believer, and I'm incredibly optimistic that, with the work we're putting in, the results will follow. So we're enjoying the journey. That's the most important thing. Done is better than perfect. That's something else I'm learning. Like I said, I'm worried so much about the back end stuff. I gotta put something together and move on, right? And start selling this thing and conveying value to clients. And nonetheless, that's a deal. I apologize for not. Actually, no, I don't apologize. It is what it is. I didn't make a video. Here I am making one. So we skipped a day. It happens. But I got more coming. So stick around, and hope you guys enjoy. And see you in the next one.